Shalom, Yasharallah, giving all praise and glory to our Heavenly Father, most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, first and foremost, whose name is jealous. He loves to be boasted on. He loves to be talked about and the things that he have done. And right now, we're going to go into a prelude of the Passover, just to go through the things that he done. And it's all about getting himself a name. You understand this? It's all about the Most High. You got to think about it. You're going to see that he hardened Pharaoh's mind, which is the heart. But he said to Moses and Aaron, he said, go tell Pharaoh to let my people go. But I'm going to harden his heart. I'm going to harden his mind so he won't let you go. Think about that. You know, we in captivity now, whether you want to accept it or not. We were sold to our enemies. Tell you that in Deuteronomy 28:68 it says, and the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt, which means captivity, slavery, and bondage, again another time. How? With ships. Now, what nation on this earth can claim that they went into captivity, slavery, and bondage on cargo slave ships? But us, you know. He said, by the way where I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there, when you go on these ships, you're going to be sold unto your enemies. But bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Buy is an old Quaker word, means to save or redeem you. In verse 29 of chapter 28 of Deuteronomy says, no man shall save you. So ain't no man gonna rise up on this earth to save you. But y'all looking for man. Y'all, everybody looking for a man to rise up. You're gonna follow man and think he's gonna save you. No, you better be trying to save your own self. For real, because every last one of us gonna be to judgment seat alone. You can't take your daddy, your mama, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, your niece, your nephew, nobody. Your friends, your associates, you're going to meet the judgment seat by yourself. So it's all about what we do in these mortal bodies while we have breath in them. To do the best we can to please the Most High. Straight up. Do his will, which is keep his commandments. You know, so we in Egypt now, as it said. And the Most High going to give him a name that can surpass every name ever thought of. He said, because that's what you say in the scripture. I love how he said, and you're going to know. You should know that I am the Most High. See? And he's going to give him a name that's going to last forever when he deliver the Israelites and the remnant of the Israelites and the remnant of all these nations. He gonna get a name. It says, tell you, after MASHAYACH rule for 1,000 years, then the Most High going to be all in all. MASHAYACH gonna have to submit himself to the Most High completely, and the Most High gonna be all in all. That's why I say, y'all ask me, are we in a new covenant? We ain't no new covenant, because when the time comes, ain't nobody gonna be teaching about these scriptures and knowing the Most High. He said everybody gonna know him from the least to the greatest. You understand this? Because he gonna be all in all. That's what this is all about. But see, you go into here, he's talking to us over and over and over again, and we in captivity over and over and over again. And he's had the prophets to go out and talk to us over and over again. He even sent his only begotten son to talk to us over and over again. And we still don't get it. We still looking for something for us. What you gonna do for me? You ain't done it for me, so you ain't really interested. You ain't talking about them, so how you about them? You love somebody, then you gonna talk about them, don't you? Yeah. You say you love them, but nobody's talking about them, no. Hear what I'm saying? So we gonna go into this. As always, Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by SHAM, MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI. Give me thanks to the Most High and the Father by SHAM, MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI. So all that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord. Say we thank the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. That you get to learn. Y'all like to regurgitate everything else. You need to regurgitate that. Because it cuts out a lot of confusion. Most High is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. He said, this is my name forever and memorial to all generations. And we're in the generation now. So he's still the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So if you're not of the 12 tribes of Israel, how did you put yourself in there with him? Explain that. That's why going back to his will gonna be done. Let's look at Exodus, the first chapter. And look at verse 7. Now we in Egypt. You know, our forefather Joseph was there, and there was a famine in the rest of, Jacob and all the brothers came, the families came to Egypt. Joseph was right under the Pharaoh. So when the Pharaoh died, who you think became the Pharaoh? Joseph. Listen. Exodus 1:7. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly. A lot of children. A lot of people. And multiplied. See? We multiplied. Listen what it says. And waxed exceeding mighty. Exceeding mighty. Exceeding mighty. Are we exceeding mighty now? No. Just let you know that we ruled Egypt. And the land was filled with them, you see? The land was filled with us, Israelites. But we were exceeding mighty, meaning we had rulership. I think from the 14th to the 18th out of the 12th to the 16th, 4 dynasties. I'm not for certain, but we ruled for 4 dynasties. And waxed exceeding mighty. You see? Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. He ain't know Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Can we say that about the superpower of the earth right now, in our captivity now? No, we can't. So you know, we were ruling. We have been ruling Egypt. He said, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out of war, any war, that they join also unto our enemies and fight against us. And so get them up out of the land. This is a new Pharaoh that came into power that didn't know Joseph. Therefore did they set over them taskmasters. This one went into captivity after ruling Egypt for about 4 dynasties. Therefore they did set up over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, slavery. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramsey. You see, we built the cities. So when you look at all the pyramids and all the different pyramids and all over the world, we had that technology. We the Israelites. You see what it said? And they, that's the Israelites. We the Israelites built for Pharaoh treasure cities. We built those cities. Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, hard slavery. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor, a hard bondage. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Sifra, and the name of the other Puah. So he's talking to the Hebrew midwives. These are the wives that, bring forth the babies. When a woman's pregnant, a midwife is the one that, help bring forth the baby. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women and see them upon the stool, see, y'all ain't lay on y'all back and have no babies. That you be on a stool, gravity pulls the baby down, and you just like you use the bathroom, comes out. Nah, y'all laying on your back, your legs open, and somebody, man got supposed to be down. You see midwives, a man supposed to be down between a woman's legs, but that's the way this world is. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, see, this is what we had, women, and see them upon the stools. They was on stools, for the gravity will pull the baby down. If it be a son, he said, if it be a boy, then you shall kill it. You shall kill him. See? But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Because see, those men can have intercourse with our daughters and bring forth their seed. But the midwives feared the Most High. It did not as the king of Egypt commanded him, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, Why have you done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women. Think about it. They want to call us Africans. They want to call us Hamites. They want to call us Egyptians. You would have said concerning you women, you Hebrew Israelite women, it said because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women. Listen, for they are lively. Say, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. So they had already had the baby. They sit on that stool, let the baby come out, grab it with their own hand. So they done had the baby before the midwives come in there. Lively. He said, hey, therefore the Most High dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass because the midwives feared the Most High. See, that's what y'all better understand. You see that? They just said it twice. The midwives feared the Most High. Y'all can think you ain't got to fear the Most High if you want to. They was afraid of, they were scared of the Most High. Therefore, the Most High dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass because the midwives feared the Most High that he made them houses. You hear that? They feared the Most High. The Most High made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born, you shall cast into the river, and every daughter you shall save alive. He got mad. Still want to kill the boys. See, that's what they do. That's what it is. Ain't nothing new under the sun. They've been doing that, man. This is the way it is. It's like that. That's the way it is. It's not nothing new. Look, let me show you something. I can find it. I think it's 30, yeah. It says in Ecclesiastes, the 30th chapter, it says, he that loveth his son, this is number one, he that loveth his son causeth him off to feel the rod. I mean, you got to whoop that butt. That he may have joy of him in the end. He that chastens his son shall have joy in him and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintances. That's why I'm just here because he said kill the sons, right? The boy that's born. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. And before his friends he shall rejoice of him, gonna be proud of him. Though his father die, listen, though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he hath left one behind him that is like himself. You see? While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall require kindness to his friends. See? So, this is the reason why they want to kill the boys. Make sense to you? Makes sense to me. So they want to kill the boys because, hey, they're going to rise up and be the men going to be the army. To take them down. The women are the weaker vessel. They knew this. So we're going to look at the Most High sending Moses and Aaron. Moses had an excuse. No, I can't talk. So Most High said, okay, well, I'm going to make your brother Aaron your mouthpiece. So we're going to go to Exodus, the 4th chapter. And it says, and Moses answered and said, behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. We the children of Israel, in captivity under the Egyptians. Moses said, hey, go release my people, Israel. Nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, the Most High have not appeared unto thee. Say, who you think you are? You know how we are. Who you think you are? How it is now. You know, you got all this division. Everybody got their own little power going on, power tripping and so forth. Who you think you are, Moses? And the Most High said to him, what is that in thine hand? He said, what's that in your hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. and he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. That rod that it cast on the ground became a serpent, a snake. And Moses fled from before it. Can you imagine? He had a staff, he threw it down, and it turned to a serpent, a snake. You're going to get away from that. However long that staff was, they had long staffs. And you see that a big snake, it turned to a big snake, you won't get away from that sucker. That's what he did. And the Most High said unto Moses, put forth thine hand and take it by the tail. He said, take your hand and take that snake by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it. And it became a rod in his hand. When he grabbed it, it became a rod in his hand. That they may believe that the Most High power of their fathers, who was he? The power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob have appeared unto thee. And the Most High said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. Now this is going to prove that Moses couldn't have been a so-called white man. He said, put forth thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, like I got my hand right here. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. This side of his hand was leprous as snow, just like that. Bam! On this side was just like that side. White as snow, leprous as snow. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. Put his hand in his bosom again, and he put his hand into his bosom again, and he plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. So instead of being like this on both sides, it was like this on this side and this on that side. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river, and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry ground, the dry land. He say, take this water, pick it up, and let it down in front of their face, and watch the river turn to blood. And Moses said unto the Most High, O Most High, I am not eloquent, see? Excuses. Look at that. I did a lesson on excuses. It go all the way from Adam and Eve all throughout the Bible. Excuses. Like y'all got a lot of excuses now. In your mind, you probably said, I don't want to listen to this. I can't listen to that. I can't. It's too much, because you don't want to learn. You don't want to take the time to read it. Like they say, you want to keep something from us, you put it in a book. This is the most important book you need to know. But you mostly don't know it because you don't want to take the time to learn it. You got everything else is more important than this. So how do you think in your wildest dreams that the Most High gonna come through for you for the things that you need, and you're not showing him that you really need him by doing what he say do? What he tell us to do right now? Look, 2 Timothy 2:15. I understand, man. Look what he said. You can't do this enough. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. It says study to show yourself approved unto man. To yourself? No. Approved unto the Most High. You got to study. To show yourself approved unto the Most High. A workman. You got to be working. Just like you go to your job, whatever it is that you're doing to trying to get your money, or whatever it is that you're doing to make money, you have to make sure you worked it right to be able to get your money. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Dividing the word of truth, man. This Bible. The laws of the Most High. So, you see, the Most High gave them two signs, man. He said, if they don't believe the two signs that I just gave you, say, you take your staff, throw it down, and turn it into a snake. They don't believe that, hey. Take that river, that water in that river, the river water we drink, right? Say, you take that water, you pour it right in front of their face, that river going to turn to blood. They don't believe that, hey. He got something for them. He got something for them. So now, let's look at The Most High, Moses coming up with an excuse. Look verse 10. He said in Exodus 4 chapter, and Moses said unto the Most High, "Oh my power, I am not eloquent. I can't speak very well. I stutter. I can't speak that well. Neither therefore, neither hitherto, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue." Meaning he stuttered. You know, I want to do like that. You know what stuttering is. And the Most High said unto him, "Who have made man's mouth? Who made your mouth, Moses? Or who maketh the dumb? Who maketh people dumb? Or deaf? Or the seeing? Or the blind? Have not I the Most High?" You hear this? That's why I say y'all gotta look at this, man. It's like people going through all these infirmities, things in life. The Most High said, "I did it to you. Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say." And he said, "O my Most High, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send." And the anger of the Most High was kindled against Moses. He said, Most High get angry. Most High get angry, y'all. And he said, "Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he could speak well." And also, he's angry. He's angry at Moses. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. He will be glad in his mind to see Moses. And thou shalt speak unto him and put words in his mouth. And I will be with thy mouth and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. Point blank. What the Most High said, I'm going to be in your mouth to tell your brother Aaron what he got to say out of his mouth. I'm going to be in his mouth too, to bring forth my words. Understand, overstand this. So, let's look at the Most High. I'm just going through this so we can, look at what we went through. Let's look at Exodus, the 4th chapter. We're still in the 4th chapter. In verse 19, because remember, Pharaoh was killing all the boys. And so Exodus 4 and 19, and Moses, you know the story. Moses was saved during that time. And the Most High said unto Moses, in verse 19, and the Most High said unto Moses in Midian, "Go, return into Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life." And Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of the Most High in his hand. Remember, the Most High sent the angel in Exodus, the 2nd chapter. Understand this, verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took to wife the daughter of Levi, and the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and dabbed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And the sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she opened it, she saw the child. This is Moses. And behold, the babe wept. Moses was crying. And she had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrews' children. See? And so you can continue to read on and on. So she said, Pharaoh's daughter took him in, and and Moses' sister took him back to his mother to be nursed. So he was learning of, the Hebrew ways as he was with them. So now he's grown. He's a grown man. And the Most High is telling Moses to go back to Egypt. For the one that saw his life is not there anymore. Just like Most High sent MASHAYACH through Joseph and Mary into Egypt. How you gonna run into Egypt if you a Caucasian? Wouldn't you stand out like a sore thumb? You walking around looking like this. And everybody looking like this. You looking like this and everybody looking like this. So you gonna stand out like a sore thumb. Shoot, look at that. Just keeping it real. And I remember being in Jamaica, and in Jamaica I was like, man, everybody's, the sun was just beaming down. I got like 2 shades darker. Everybody's darker. It was this light-skinned brother going through, riding on a bicycle, but he just stood out. He just stood out. I mean, I'm just saying, giving analysis of, you can't hide amongst people that don't look like you. That's why, Moses went into Egypt. You see what he told him, put your hand in your bosom. He put his hand out. It was like his other flesh, which is brown skin. And so, verse 21, and the Most High said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart. See? Most High said, do all these miracles in front of Pharaoh, but I'm going to harden his heart, that he may not let the people go. So I went over a lesson. And it was Hosea. We go to Hosea 5:15. And I hope you adhere. This is for us now. He said, I will go and return to my place. It's the Most High. So I'm going to go back to my place till they acknowledge their offense, till we acknowledge how we have offended the Most High and seek my face. That means coming back to his laws, statutes, and commandments. Do what he said do, his rules and regulations, period. In their affliction, they will seek me early. That's for us. Jacob's trouble, man. He said, in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. Don't get it twisted. Now, you're going to see the Most High put all these 10 plagues on the Egyptians. But this is where it starts. When he said what? He said, but I will harden his heart. I'm going to harden Pharaoh's mind. The heart is the mind. I'm going to harden the way he thinks, no matter what he put on him. That he shall not let the people go. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus said the Most High. Hear this, Israel. Lights shining bright in darkness. Thus said the Most High. This is what the Most High is saying. Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Now, we know this scripture forever. Exodus 4:22. I don't understand how somebody could say that the only sons of the Most High are the fallen angels. Did y'all hear what he just said? He said, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Y'all better stop looking at all these different books that these Edomites making money off of. Enoch and all these different books, different authors and so forth. You hear what it said? Israel is my son, even my firstborn. So y'all want to say angels are the son of the Most High? Answer this question. I'm waiting. I'm going to keep on asking it. Y'all want to say the sons of the Most High came down and had sex with women and brought forth giants when giants was already in the land already? Answer this question. He said Israel is my son, right? Who else is his son? Let's see if angels are his son. And it's a question that's being asked in Hebrews 1:5. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, thou art my son? This day have I begotten thee. And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. What angel? Because y'all want to say the sons of the Most High in Genesis 6 chapter are the fallen angels. Those angels gonna have to have a name. That the Most High said, this is my son. This angel is my son. I am the father of this angel. And again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he said, and let all the angels of the Most High worship him. That's a MASHAYACH. And of the angels, he said, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire, in Psalms 104:4. But unto the Son, MASHAYACH, he said, thy throne, O God, O power, is forever and ever. I ask you, do the Most High have a power over him? But he told him, MASHAYACH, as the Son of the Most High, and y'all know that because y'all know John 3:16. For the Most High so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life, right? Whosoever, of the world. But MASHAYACH is the only begotten Son that's called an angel by the Most High, or name an angel that the Most High said, I'm his father. Name an angel that the Most High said, that's my son. Or that angel could say, the Most High is his father. And he the son of the Most High. That's what Hebrews 1:5 asking the question. Answer that question. I'm talking to all you that believe that angels came down and had sex with women as the sons of the Most High. Come on. He said, Israel is my son, and it's the Most High son, the only begotten son. He said, but unto the Son, he said, this is a MASHAYACH, the anointed Savior. As an angel, thy throne, O power, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness, righteousness, meaning keeping of the Most High's laws. That's righteousness. Is a scepter or the power of thy kingdom. Thou hast loved righteousness. Thou love to keep the Most High's laws and commandments, and hated iniquity, hated wickedness. Therefore, power, even thy powers. I don't know, Most High got a power over him? Because y'all like to say God. That's dog spelled backwards. They inserted that in there. That's their power. That's who you calling on. Edomite's power. Therefore, power, even thy power. Therefore, MASHAYACH, even your power, the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, have anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows, above every angel. I digress, though. Answer that question. Exodus 4:22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus say the Most High, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. So we the Most High son. We the sons of the Most High. You see, the MASHAYACH said in St. John 1, go to St. John, the first chapter. I like to bring out things that these religions teach to debunk what it is that they have been programmed to believe in, and they love to say, keep reading. You're reading out of context. So let's read what they go by in St. John, the first chapter and the 11th verse. They don't read the 12th verse, but we're going to read the 12th verse today. They go here, they say, he came into his own, and his own received him not. See, the Jews, they rebelled against me. They refused to have him as their king. But verse 12 says, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become what? The sons of the Most High. You hear that? He just said, Israel is my son. This ain't talking to nobody else but Israelites. The Most High just said in Exodus 4:22, Israel is my son. So he gave them power to become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on SHAM YAHAWASHI, in the name of the Lord and Savior. Because that's how you reach the Most High for the spiritual power that he said he's going to give us. Whether you understand or not. That's why when you go back to, I'm changing subjects, but I got to bring it out because this is what you got to look at. Go to, we're going to look at Genesis 4 and, let me get there, pages. Okay, Look at Genesis 4:25 and 26. You know, Cain had killed Adam. Cain had killed Abel, excuse me, and Mosai done cast Cain out to the mountain of Nod. And now, in verse 25, it says, of Genesis, the 4th chapter, and Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For the Most High, said she, have appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew, or Cain killed, Cain murdered. And to Seth, hear this clearly, and to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos, not Enoch, but Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of Yahweh Bahasham MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI, or Most High Bahasham MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI, in the name of the Lord and Savior. Because the MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI said in St. John 14:6, with no New Testament, the only thing he could pick up, see, that's why I say you got to start thinking. The only thing he could pick up that they could read when they went to the temple, when he was on the earth in the flesh, was the Old Testament, the law and the prophets. That's it. So he said he gonna give us power, spiritual power, to them that believe on in the name of the Lord and Savior. He said in St. John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I'm the way to show you how to follow the laws of the Most High. I'm the way to show you how to follow the commandments of the Most High. I'm the way to show you how to follow the rules and regulations of the Most High. That's going to lead to everlasting life. It's not going to deviate. It's just the fact of, he don't want everybody to get this. This is a mystery. It's a mystery. He said, no man cometh to the Father but by me. Come on. But if you don't see him in the volume of the book, then when you stand before him and say, I never knew you. I don't know you. Well, show me where I was at when I was speaking to Jeremiah and Isaiah, the Psalms. You see? And you don't know, if you don't know him, where you think you're going to be going? He don't want everybody to be saved. So that's when men began to call on, like he said in St. John 1:12, but as many as received him gave he power, that's spiritual power, to become what? The sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on in the name of the Lord and Savior. Just his name don't mean anything. He said you should ask anything in my name. I would do it that the Father could be glorified in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, I would do it. If you love me, keep my commandments. Point blank. So I just wanted to bring that in, because you got to see him. You got to know him. You know, the law of Moses, the prophets, and the Psalms, and many other places it's talked about him. You got to know him, y'all. It's so important. So now, back to Exodus. I digress. Exodus 4:22. If you need more information, just inquire. I got many lessons showing MASHAYACH in the volume of the book. Matter of fact, I'm not going to digress. I want to get one more. A few more. Psalms 40. Spirit just showed me this. I've been going through this for a long time, and just showed me this today. Psalms 40:7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. That's MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI. Listen what it say. I delight to do thy will, O my Most High. Right? He said, I delight to do thy will, O Most High. Excuse me. So I delight to do thy will. The will of the Most High. Say, we got to do the will of the Most High, right? Oh, my power. Yeah, thy law is within my heart. Thy law is within my mind. I delight to do thy will. What's the will of the Most High? You got to hear this. Oh, Most High. Oh, my Most High. Right? I delight to do thy will. Oh, my Most High. Yeah, thy law is within my heart. Thy law is within my mind. So the will of the Most High is for us to do his laws, his rules and regulations. That just hit me today, man. I was like, wow, that's it right there. Same thing in Hebrews 10 and 7. Because there's no New Testament. There's only the law and the prophets. The New Testament is those that had the law and the prophets, giving you understanding of what it is that it was bringing forth. Hebrews 10 and 7. See how it sounds similar? Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O Most High. See? But see, in New Testament, you don't see to do thy law, right? But in the Old Testament, it's letting you know. Letting you know. But here it's telling you too, above when he says sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings and offerings for sin thou wouldest not, meaning, sacrifice animals or whatever it is that we needed to sacrifice for our sins, neither has pleasure therein, which are offered by the law of sacrifice. That's what he's talking about. Then said he, lo, I come to do thy will, O Most High. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second, which is him. Well, let me read it. By the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the blood, the body of MASHAYACH once for all. And that all is a certain number, 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, you see. But he tells you, if you go up to the first verse, how the sacrifice of animals did not take away sins. It was just a sign, or we require a sign, the Most High looking for us to be obedient, and not have to sacrifice sin. Like he don't want us to keep on coming to him saying, I'm sorry, forgive me. No. That's why I tell you in Hebrews 10:26, he ain't going to the Most High. I ain't going to the Most High on your behalf. You got to understand, that's why you got to fear the Most High. You don't fear the Most High, you just going to play him like he just going to do whatever you want him to do. Are you serious? Y'all better think again. You better think real hard. Real hard, because when I read about him, it ain't no joke. He ain't no joke, y'all. He really nobody to play with. You done played with people all your life, and been messed up here, messed up there. You better not be messed up with him. I know that. He gonna reign forever and ever and ever. And he's gonna bring forth the judgment on this earth. Gonna be like MASHAYACH always said when he was here, gonna be weeping and gnashing. And it's gonna be those gonna rejoicing. But first they're gonna cry. That's gonna be your last cry, though. Look, let me show you. I know I'm going everywhere right now, but I just gotta go with the spirit, because we in that time period. And y'all be careful out there, because these are the times that Satan and imps trying to rise up to be able to have a lot of things happen, because you got to look at, we celebrating the Passover. And a lot of people celebrating the Passover, who's representing the MASHAYACH, whether they know it or not. And they also going to be celebrating Easter. And ain't nothing that Satan can say he got his hand in that, except for the fact of, they got what they call good, that 6th day of the week. Y'all know what they call it. And they say 2 days later, no, 3 days later, but it's really 2 days later, but they say it's 3 days later when you count from that 6th day to the first day, 6th day to 7th day, and the first day is 3 days to them. You know what I mean? I don't know how they count that. He died on that 6th day, then you got the 7th day, which is tomorrow, then you got the next day, which is 2 days, then you got the next day, which is the next day, which is the 2nd day of the week, but they say he died on the 6th day and rose on the 1st day of the week. Come on now, they can't even count 3 days. Come on, man, come on now. Man, that's how, when you look at it, how we jacked up, man. We really jacked up, man. We really jacked up. We jacked up. Destroyed, man, for lack of knowledge. We don't want to think. They got us so dumbed down that, if they took away social media and the TV and all that stuff, people go crazy. People will lose their mind. They probably go out and start being mass murderers or whatever. Just go crazy, or might kill themselves, commit suicide. But here, dealing with knowing this word, who really concerned about that enough? This was important. Now, I really digress now. Going back to Exodus 4th chapter. Verse 27. And the Most High said to Aaron, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of the Most High and kissed him. And Moses told Aaron, this is Moses' brother. They're both Levites. All the words of the Most High. Salakia.